Do the Mariners have enough starting pitching depth, and should we be worried about the Texas Rangers? I'm going to cover both of those questions today. Hi, everyone. My name is Sam Edwards. Welcome to Mariners Daily. This is the show for the thinking Mariners fan, the nerd, the kid who is just into the stats, baby. I'm no smarter than you. I just look up the stats for you. That's it. That's all I do. Today on this episode, let's start off with the Dane Dunning signing, and it kind of fits with the starting pitching depth, conversation here. Dunning is a minor league contract. It's nothing big, nothing to shout from the rooftops about. He spent this past year with the Atlanta Braves and Texas Rangers, who we'll be covering later. He pitched 20 and 2/3 innings pitched in the majors this past season. 10 innings with Texas, 10 innings with the Braves. Both were pretty bad. He had a 6.97 ERA in those 20 innings. Small sample size is what you're saying. I get it. Let's go to when he was in AAA with Texas. Pitched 46 innings there. Strikeouts were okay, 9.52 Ks per nine. The walks were a little high, 3.50 walks per nine, 4.47 ERA, and a 4.96 FIP. He's only 31 years old. I'm fine with this. I'm fine with this move. It's whatever. It doesn't necessarily get me hyped or excited. He was last effective in 2023, so it's definitely still possible. It's not that far back. He's only 31 years old, which I was actually shocked by. I was actually shocked by 31 years old. Dane Dunning, I would have said, was 34, 35. So shout out to Dane, still 31, still fresh, can still get the job done to a certain extent. And there is something there. It's like he's got the cutter, he's got the slider, the curve, the changeup. He's got some pieces, the sinker, he's got some things that he can make it work, you know? You rewind the clock back to 2023, over 150 innings pitched, decently effective, mid to high 3 ERA, little bit higher FIP in the fours. Not an amazing pitcher, and we're not expecting him obviously to be an amazing pitcher, but he can be okay. Um, but like I said, he doesn't really he doesn't get you excited, which has me a little worried. Let's talk about the starting pitching depth now with Dane Dunning. Feel like I can see where they're going. For me, I've always been uh pushing for them to get a more proven guy. I think we need a more proven guy. You never have enough starting pitching depth. You just never do. And I'm worried. I'm worried that they're satisfied with getting the guys like Dane Dunning and calling it a day. And they think that if they just get enough Dane Dunnings that maybe one of them will turn up. Which is not it's not stupid to say that because it happens all the time. There's always a pitcher that steps up randomly. I'm not just saying on the Mariners. There's always somebody that steps up, but throughout Major League Baseball, there's always somebody that kind of emerges, and you're like, "What the heck?" Adrian Hauser is having a good season. Pardon. Oh. Adrian Hauser's having a good season with the White Sox and their bullpen. Like, what the heck is going on? Our starting pitching depth, however, is not great and not satisfactory for me. Emerson Hancock, Logan Evans. We know the guys. I've talked about the guys. I don't really think the upside is there, and the floor is not really there either. Next up on the docket, Blas Castano pitched 126 innings in AAA this past season. Ks are nothing to speak of. Walks are nothing to speak of. A 5.19 ERA and a 5.39 FIP. He equally didn't look that amazing in AA. Jonathan Diaz is another guy, lefty starter, swingman type. Little bit better performance. Little bit. 138 and 2/3 innings pitched in AAA this past season. 4.15 ERA, 4.65 FIP. he didn't look amazing in Double A either. So, I'm not sure what we're doing. I'm not actually, I'm worried about what we're doing. Randy Dobnak was another minor league signing. He's off the 40-man roster as of right now, I believe. So, he hasn't been effective for since, 2020. So, I don't know what's going on there. And now we go get Dane Dunning. So, we got Hancock, Evans, Castano, Diaz, Jonathan Diaz, Randy Dobnak, Dane Dunning. I don't know, man. I don't know. It has me a little disappointed. I want somebody else. I want a Nick Martinez. I want somebody else that can get the job done when we need it. Because I don't want to have to rely on Emerson Hancock and Logan Evans. We've seen them. We've seen them in the majors. I don't think there's another thing they're gonna unlock. I mean, it's obviously it's always possible, but like I just don't have a whole lot of hope. So I would not say our SB depth, our starting pitching depth is good enough as of right now. I think we need proven guy. I think we need another proven guy, and I think we are willing to just roll with the guys in house, add a couple little patchwork AAA rotation fodder, basically. Randy Dobnak, Dane Dunning, that's what those guys are. Just starting pitching AAA rotation fodder. That's it. Just they're there, and then when you need a spot start, when somebody gets injured, then you can go, "Oh, we have Dane Dunning. He used to be a major leaguer. Used to be." Same with Randy Dobnak. Used to be. They're just names at this point. I don't see them as effective players that are going to prove themselves or come up with a new pitch or whatever. And I can't stop yawning. I don't get it. Am I not getting enough air? I don't know what's going on, man. Let's talk about the Rangers. The Rangers add to their rotation. Of course they do. The Rangers have acquired Mackenzie Gore from the Washington Nationals. He's got a couple years of control via arbitration. They trade a group of prospects, not too highly touted. And when I say a group, it's 5 prospects for Mackenzie Gore. Shortstop Gavin Feen, right-hander Alejandro Rosario, first baseman slash outfielder Abimelech Ortiz, and then infielder Devin Fitzgerald and outfielder Jeremy Cabrera. None of these guys were on Baseball America's top 100. Barely good enough ranked prospects in the Rangers system. I'm a little weirded out by this deal, but I'm also a little worried by this deal, and we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about Mackenzie Gore first. 27 years old, will be 27 years old, I believe, in February. 159 and two-thirds innings pitched this past season, a 27.2 K percentage, 9.4 walk percentage, so the control is not fantastic, slash he doesn't really have that second strike getting pitch as of right now. 113 home runs per 9, 325 BABIP, a 75.6 left on base percentage, so none of those are too far off in my opinion. 417 ERA, 374 FIP. Mackenzie Gore has been a guy that we've been kind of waiting for that breakout, waiting for that breakout. And the past 2 seasons have been good, and they've been kind of interesting in terms of pitch usage. The slider kind of emerged for him this past season, especially versus lefties, as Gore is a left-handed pitcher. Um, he really relies on the curve, the slider, and the changeup. And this season was definitely, I think, a step up, in my opinion, for Gore. Maybe not on the surface level stats, but definitely the pitch usage aspect. The emergence of the slider is huge for him. The curve has kind of been his go-to number 2 pitch, but having the slider step up versus lefties is a big turning point. Now, I'm not overstating it necessarily because righties are always the question when it comes to a lefty pitcher. Kind of like what I just talked about yesterday with Jojo Romero. If you haven't watched that show, definitely go check it out if you want a deep dive. He's my player profile for the day. It's also a great episode, I will say. But what I talked about a little bit is just having those second pitches that you can also throw versus righties. And the curveball is one of those pitches for Gore, as well as the changeup. So having that, having that second pitch, and I say all of this because his fastball is not that great. Um, It's just not that great of a fastball. It's good enough. It's good enough that he's getting by and he's doing well enough, but it's not that great. So you need another pitch that's going to be good enough versus righties that you can get some strikes with. And the curve slider changeup do a great job supporting the fastball, I think, for Gore. Now, did Jerry Dipoto know about this ahead of time and go grab Rob Ref Snyder for a reason? Who knows? But you know what? I'm so happy we have him. And yeah, I yep, I'm happy. Happy about that. Uh, Gore is a good pitcher. Gore is a good pitcher. And the thing about Gore is he doesn't need to be the guy anymore. He was the guy on the Nationals. He's the starting pitcher, especially with Josiah Gray not performing as well as the Nationals had hoped. Yeah, their rotation just has not, you know, really emerged as much as I think the Nationals were really hoping. I thought Gore was going to be part of the next good Nationals team, but apparently not. And now they're shopping CJ Abrams. They shopped Jacob Young. They're shopping everyone at the Nationals. So I don't know what's going on, man. I figured Gore was going to get traded, but not to the freaking Texas Rangers. Like, what a random freaking grab from them. They're a weird team, man. They're doing this weird, uh, seesaw move where they're like, trying to change up the roster, but keep, stay in, relative contention. So they're definitely interesting. And Gore does add he's a great number three. That's exactly where I would want Mackenzie Gore. I think he's a great number three, and I think he can get better. I'm curious to see what the Rangers do though, because I don't know. I don't really know where my mindset is on where the Rangers are in terms of taking advantage of changes that a starting pitcher has made already, or implementing new changes for starting pitchers or just players in general. So I'm kind of curious how Gore kind of progresses throughout his career on the Rangers. Now, obviously, once again, it's nice that we have Rob Refsnyder because that's yeah, man. Uh, it's not going to be fun facing the Rangers. It's not going to be fun. They've got a good rotation. Let's break it down. Rangers rotation here. They've got Jacob DeGrom at the top. We know this. Pitched 170 innings this past season. That's crazy, man. I did not expect him to be that healthy. Nathan Eovaldi was the crazy effective one that didn't pitch that many innings. It was only about 130 innings for Eovaldi, but he was amazing the whole season. So the top two in those two, it's like this whole rotation just has like the highest ceiling ever. Really. I mean, not the highest ceiling ever, you know what I mean? But they just have such a freaking high ceiling. DeGrom and Eovaldi at the top of the rotation is filthy. That's gross. In a wild card series, I'm scared. I'm worried about facing the Rangers. Now the jury's still out on the offense. Obviously, they trade Marcus Simeon, but they filled the hole in Brandon Nimmo, who fills in the outfield. They get rid of Adolis Garcia. That's a great switch right there. Infield still looks good enough. They've got some weapons, man, and I'm just a little worried. All right, let's just talk about the rotation. We'll talk about the lineup some other time. But like I said, DeGrom and Eovaldi great at the top, and the Mackenzie Gore at number three. That's just great, man. That just feels comfortable. That just feels, feels good. It feels like it's just a really, like I said, a really high ceiling. Now they do need maybe they got Cody Bradford. I was about to say they need more depth guys as well. They got Bradford. They got a couple options. Maybe they don't have an amazing starting pitching depth, and they might need it because the back couple of options fairly unproven. Now, next up on the docket is Jack Leiter, the young kid. Pitched 151 innings this past year. Actually, was better than I remembered. A 22.9 K percentage, fairly high walk percentage, 10.4, but a 3.86 ERA and a 4.15 FIP. Those numbers are both better than I was expecting. The guy throws a mean power four seamer and then tries to figure it out from there. It's a good enough slider as the backup pitch, but then I would say the rest of the arsenals is maybe just a little bit lacking. But he definitely has the stuff, man. He's got the stuff to get it done, and the four seam is just such a great building block, and that's kind of what has me worried. He's your number four. I think his ceiling is a freaking Nathan Eovaldi, I mean, you could argue that his ceiling is Jacob DeGrom, but We're not there yet. We're not there yet. Let's take our time. Leiter's good, man. Leiter is a great number 4. He's a great number 4 option. Having him pitch 151 innings this past season is huge as well. I mean, just proving that he can do it is huge and just makes it a little bit more scary facing the Rangers. Kumar Rocker fills out the rotation here. Only had 64 innings pitched in the majors, a little bit injured this season. 19.5 K percentage, nothing to speak of. 8 walk percentage, but the homers really got to him. 1.54 home runs per 9, 5.74 ERA, and a 4.88 FIP. Fairly small sample size, still a young kid, obviously has a high ceiling, but I'm curious to see what we get from there. But also at the same time, he's their number 5 starter. Like, Kumar Rocker is almost like exactly what you want as your number 5 starter. You know, you want that high ceiling, but you're okay if it doesn't work out because he doesn't need to be amazing. You know, he doesn't have to work out because he's your number 5 starter. So it's a super high ceiling of a rotation. It's scary. If everything breaks right, it could be better than the Mariners rotation. It could be. I'm just saying that right now. It could be because as soon as we get one injury, man, we're starting Emerson Hancock every day. We're plugging in Logan Evans. We're bringing up Randy Dobnak for a prop start. It's not great. And listen, I'm not saying the Rangers rotation does not have a low floor as well. Okay, we know how many innings DeGrom can pitch. We know he can only pitch, 50 to 70 innings. Makes sense. Eovaldi got injured this past year. We'll see how he does going forward. I've never seen him be this effective as well, so I'd be curious if his performance keeps up with the rate that he had in 2025. That would be a little scary. Gore obviously has a high ceiling, but we haven't seen him be an amazing pitcher, kind of like what I painted earlier. I mean, he's a good pitcher right now, but he's not an amazing pitcher or anything. Leiter, like I said, he's in a very similar boat as Gore, has some things to work on, but has been effective. Maybe just a little bit less of a track record. Like I said, Gore has 2 full seasons in his back pocket right now of good pitcher. Jack Leiter has 1 season. We'll see what this season has in store, and we'll see if he improves. Rocker is kind of the wild card here. See what happens there. They also have Jacob Latz as well. He pitched, I think, only 7 games started this past season. The rest was in the bullpen. So I'm curious to see if they start him a little bit more this coming season. Maybe Rocker or Leiter, allow that to happen, or maybe DeGrom gets injured. Maybe Eovaldi gets a little injured. We'll see how it goes. It's a high ceiling. It's a low floor, but it still has me worried. I think the Rangers and the Astros are just the most like, I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna get. I don't know what we're gonna get in those face-offs. So I think I gotta do some research on both these teams and really start figuring out what our opponents look like in this division. Obviously, the Angels don't worry me. Same with really the Athletics. The Athletics have some good players. Let's not totally discount them. Even so, Rangers and Astros just feel like they have such high ceiling and the low floor. So I don't really know what to expect. Let me know what you guys think. Are we going to get somebody that's a little bit more proven in the rotation for us? I would really love a Nick Martinez or something. Seeing Jacob Junis go somewhere else was just a little bit crushing, especially for how cheap he was. It was like, man, it would have been great. He could pitch out of the bullpen. He could pitch in the rotation. Like, he could get it done. Same with Nick Martinez. He has obviously a lot more starting experience. So that would be nice. Are we gonna get somebody else? What do you think about the Rangers? What do you think about this trade? Were you shocked by this as well? I was not expecting this at all. And now that I'm looking at the Rangers rotation and the rest of the team, it has me just a little bit worried. All right, guys. Sam Edwards out. Thanks so much for joining me on this episode of Mariners Daily. I'll see you back next week. Have a great weekend. Stay safe. I got a lot of snow coming my way, so we'll see how that goes. Have a good one.